Which Sabah will I be today? This is a question I ask myself every day. Which Sabah am I going to be today? See, I'm many things, but I often have to choose. I choose to keep myself safe. Am I ashamed? No. Am I hiding? No. I choose to keep myself safe because it's dangerous. What I represent threatens the norms of our society and the expectations of who I should be and who I shouldn't be. A proud, transgender, Muslim, unapologetic, hairy, brown queer. I know what you're thinking. Yes, we exist. Yes, I am happy. And yeah, my friends and family are okay with it. I know what you're thinking because this is the first thing that I have to do when I speak to people or attend an LGBT event. I have to justify my existence and convince them that I belong. The number of times that I go to LGBT events and get asked, "Oh, hi, are you in the right place?" Yes, I am, and I belong here as much as you do. But if the right place is asking me to prove it, then maybe this isn't the right place after all. I constantly have to justify why I'm here, why I'm a part of this community. And as trans people of colour, we are often told we shouldn't value ourselves. We're told we shouldn't exist through violence and hatred. And when services don't see you, when society doesn't stand up for you or represent you, it sends a very clear message. This service is not for you. This world is not for you. We know that people of colour are incredibly marginalised and isolated. Our mental health is suffering and our suicide rates are rising. So why are we doing this? Why are we as a society continually perpetuating the single trans narrative, rejected? The single Muslim narrative, terror. The single black narrative, angry. I want to read you a quote by someone I really look up to, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, who's an author and black feminist, on the danger of a single story. The single story creates stereotypes, and the problem with stereotypes is not that they are untrue, but that they are incomplete. They make one story become the only story. Stereotypes born out of stigma and fear keep my identity from existing as a whole. The assumption is that the communities I'm a part of don't all fit together. This is why I have to choose which Sabah I will be today. But there's a problem with that. I'm never going to be trans enough. I'm never going to be brown enough. I'm never going to be Muslim enough. Because I'm too brown to be trans enough. And I'm too queer to be Muslim enough. These assumptions feed into the media. We become headlines, storylines, plot twists, and tragedies. We are just not represented. Our stories are only written with unhappy endings. These assumptions feed into our healthcare, where doctors' white experiences of non-white culture trump our own lived experience of our own culture. The gender identity clinics think that we're not trans enough because we won't disown our family if they don't initially support us when we come out, or because I didn't change my gender-neutral Arabic name. I don't always get to choose which Sabah I'll be today. It's often chosen for me, because my skin colour always comes first. And when I'm talking about being Pakistani or introduce my name, I know that Muslim comes second. Then something interesting happens. All that I am is judged against me being Muslim. What did your parents say? What did your community say? But how can you be Muslim and trans? These are not the questions that you should be asking. Don't ask me, what did your community say? Ask yourselves, as non-Muslims, what can our community do? Don't ask me, how can you be Muslim and trans? Ask yourselves, as non-Muslims, how can we accept those who are Muslim and trans? This isn't about my answers. This isn't about me. Muslims can't tackle Islamophobia alone. We alone can't break a system that was designed to oppress us. This is about you, your answers, your attitudes, and your beliefs. It's worth saying now that transphobia is not a Muslim issue. There are 5 Muslim countries in the world where being gay is not a crime. What do they all have in common? None of them were colonized by the British Empire. It was the colonial laws of the British that criminalized homosexuality. So no, transphobia is not a Muslim issue. Homophobia, biphobia, transphobia, these are not religious issues. No one is born transphobic. No one is born racist or Islamophobic. We all learn these things. We all learn what a society will tolerate in our culture or in our community. We learn these things and we call them norms and impose those norms onto our experiences, whether it's interpreting a religious scripture or meeting someone black and thinking, oh, they can't be gay. We all have to unlearn it. I'm not going to lie to you. Since I accepted the invitation to speak at this event, I changed my mind about it many times. Saying yes was a decision that bothered me. And that's because speaking at this event would give the impression that I align myself with the police force and what they stand for. That speaking here today next to officers and constables would imply that I'm pro-police. I'm not. I'm not because I believe there can be no peace whilst LGBT people cooperate with the police. Please continue to be a part of pride parades around the world, thinking this is how to keep queer and trans people of colour safe. No, it's how to keep us out. Because Stonewall was a riot, remember, it was a police raid that sparked the most important event in LGBT liberation. I'm not because only certain demographics rely on calling 999 to feel safer and to make things better. Being brown, black, Muslim, trans, queer means you are on trial the moment that you are known. Because the number of deaths in police custody are at the highest level for 5 years, and a disproportionate number of those people are people of colour. 1,500 and counting. Justice for Sarah Reid. Justice for Mizzy Muhammad. Black Lives Matter. I'm not because the Islamophobic attacks in London have tripled since the Paris shooting. Islamophobic attacks have tripled in just a year and a half. Because the number of Muslims in prison is 1 in 7, compared to 1 in 20 of the general population. These numbers are alarming, when just 1% of Muslim prisoners have been convicted of terrorist-related events. This may not be the United States, where black men and women are murdered every week at the hands of the police. But the UK is not innocent. We still suffer with the same disease of institutional racism and Islamophobia. If we are going to address our stereotypes and internal bias, we need to address privilege and our power. This is not an opportunity for you to try and change my mind, to tell me that not all cops are bad. No, this isn't about your police buddies or the cops that are here. This isn't about you. This is about a police system that is inherently anti-black, right, racist, and Islamophobic. This is about a system that was designed to never protect us. Here is a chance for you to hear what the reality is for black and brown LGBT people and LGBT people of faith. Our race, faith, and gender are all connected. We can't choose who to be today or tomorrow. We don't always get choices. I'm brown. I'm Muslim first, before anything else. And when you're Muslim in the UK, you're a terrorist, you're a target, you're hated. This is not just about equality, this is about fighting for justice. And you can't have equality for all with justice for some. If you want to know how to support LGBT Muslims, start by supporting Muslims. If you want to be a better ally, start by fighting for people of colour. Because we don't just exist within the LGBT community, we exist outside of that, in our own communities, in different spaces. And when we are under attack, your community suffers too. When I suffer, your community suffers too. Your support should not depend on the shared use of 4 letters. Your allyship to us should not depend on anything. It's necessary that you fight for our lives too. It is necessary that you are not a part of a society that hates Muslims. It's necessary that you tell us that Black Lives Matter too. This is not your average talk on LGBT inclusion. This is not your inspiration. This